Good morning. My name is Fernando Kuipers, and with me is Ariel Orda. We're the general chairs for SIGCOMM'. And it's our great pleasure to welcome you to SIGCOMM' 2022. And in particular, it's very nice to have you all here in person as sort of the first in-person SIGCOMM' after two virtual editions.
Yes, as we all know, it's all about networking. And even at this time and age, nothing comes close when we are talking about human networking, nothing comes close to personal interactions. And it is thus that we are particularly excited to hold SIGCOMM' 2022 as an in-person edition after two virtual ones.
And for that in-person edition, we, of course, chose a very nice location here in Amsterdam, a vibrant city, and also a very special building, which is actually a national monument designed by a famous architect, Dutch architect called Berlage. And in the very beginning, this building served as a place for trading stocks. And well, today we're here to trade ideas, so I think that's a nice place to be. And we're having ample opportunities, of course, to trade ideas because we are with quite a number of folks. We have had over 530 registrations from all over the world, where the majority actually is here in person.
This is an opportunity to extend our deep thanks and gratitude to the members of the organizing committee. We thank them for all their energy, time, and goodwill. In particular, this year, due to the particular challenges of getting back to an in-person edition. We would also like to express our thanks to the members of the SIG Executive Committee, in particular to the chair, Ellen Zegura, and to the conference coordinator, Christophe Diot. We would like to acknowledge the help of the student volunteers. You can recognize them by the orange lanyards that they have. Many thanks to them. I hope they also will have an opportunity to enjoy with us the conference. We would like to express our thanks also to the NSF for their generous support of travel grants. Our special thanks go to our generous sponsors. Whenever you have a good experience in the conference, for example, among other things, whenever you enjoy a good glass of wine or cup of coffee or tasty slice of cake, please bear in mind that to a large extent it is thanks to our generous sponsors. And last but certainly not least, thank you, the attendees, for coming here to Amsterdam in order to experience with us SIGCOMM' 2022 in person. At this time, we would like to invite the program chairs to address us. Please.
Thanks, Ariel. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Amsterdam. I'm Bruce Meggs, and this is my co-chair, Brighton Godfrey. We're going to give you guys some statistics and overview of the program committee process this time. In a nutshell, we had 280 submissions this year, which was about 40 more than the year before. Of these submissions, 2 of them were considered wildly out of scope and weren't considered by the program committee. But otherwise, we had kind of the standard SIGCOMM' reviewing process where there was a first round in which each paper received 3 reviews. And papers showing any level of support or missing reviews were then advanced to a second round where each paper was given additional reviews, 2 additional reviews. And prior to the program committee meeting, which was held over Zoom, we made decisions about a large number of papers. We accepted 30, and then we finally discussed about 56 papers over a day and a half or 2 days and accepted 25 more. So we ended up with a total of 55 accepted papers. That's the same number as last year. And as you know by now, these are spread across 11 sessions of 5 papers each. This is a lot of papers to have at an in-person conference, and there was a bit of debate about what to do about having so many papers. Different ideas were thrown out. This community is against having multiple parallel tracks, so we didn't do that. And we didn't want to have shorter breaks or longer days, and so the conference extended to 3.5 days from past years where it was 3 days.
Okay, so this is a bit of a view across time of what the SIGCOMM program has looked like. So you can see on the left the number of submitted and accepted papers. We're actually at the largest number of submitted papers since, I think, 2008. And in the last 3 years during the pandemic time, there's been an increase in the number of accepted papers. We did also see a tick up in the number of submitted papers, and the size of the program kind of just naturally, without us guiding towards a really specific number, just letting the PC make its decisions, landed about the same as last time. So the acceptance rate ticked down just slightly compared to last year. This is a bit of a view of the topics. These are the topics that, when submitting a paper, we had a list of about 24 topics that submitting authors could mark that saying that their paper was related to that. So you can't see all of these numbers here, but x-axis is number of papers submitted, y-axis is number accepted, and so you can see some of the most frequently submitted topics are measurement, data center networking, and wireless. And also notable is there's a few topics that ended up being represented more in the accepted papers than in the submitted papers, including network hardware, deployment experience, management, programmable data planes, and also wireless. And I'm sure you'll be happy to see that TCP is represented still, kind of right in the center there, just above the fairness line of the average acceptance rate, but TCP is not getting starved. Bruce.
Okay, so I hope by now you guys are aware that one part of the SIGCOMM conference is the submission of lasting artifacts, and we wanted to thank Haiying Shen and Danyang Zhou for serving as the artifact evaluation chairs. After the decisions are made about which papers are accepted, authors of accepted papers are invited to submit artifacts, and of the 55 papers, 32 submitted artifacts, which is great. And there's a whole separate committee that then evaluates these artifacts and awards badges. And so, without going into too much detail, all of the submitted artifacts were awarded an available badge, meaning that the artifacts can be easily downloaded now by the public. And in some cases, the Artifact Evaluation Committee was able to go further and test, for example, test the code and confirm that it's functional, or even go further and reproduce the main results of the paper. And so those were the different badges that were given out. So we encourage you all in future years to think about submitting your code or your data or whatever other sort of electronic artifacts you have once your paper is accepted. Let me say a little bit about the program committee. So we had a large committee, because we had a lot of submissions and we wanted to have a lot of reviews per paper. There were 60 people on the PC, plus 2 more if you count Brighton and me. We originally invited 58. We invited 2 emergency members because we had to fill in some gaps where we had missing reviews. Some demographics. So about 20% of the PC was from industry. 25% were women. It would be nice if this was higher. We tried hard. We invited a lot. And the numbers just kind of came out where they were. The program committee is a little bit heavily US based. Again, we tried inviting people from Asia, but we had less success. I think the number looks better if you think about, these are where the institutions are located. If you looked at country of birth, you would have great diversity among the program committee. We went as much as possible for a committee of young people who had been contributing to SIGCOMM but hadn't yet served on the committee. And finally, when it came to dealing with program committee chair conflicts, Brighton and I didn't submit any papers, so that simplified things a little. And just serendipitously, we didn't have any mutual conflicts, so there was no need to appoint any special conflict chairs for any of the papers.
So during the reviewing process, we communicated some philosophy to the reviewers and tried to run, both the individual reviews and also the PC discussion, kind of reflecting this. First, be positive and respectful. The philosophy is submitting authors are putting in years, maybe multiple years of work, offering it to us to help us build a better program. So kind of keep that in mind. Focus on what the paper contributes, not on what it doesn't contribute. There's always another experiment. There's always another extension. There's always a way a paper could do more, but the question is, what does it do? What does this paper contribute? Risks and unknowns are okay, especially on newer topic areas. One paper may not answer every relevant question, and that's okay. It can take multiple papers or years of work by a community to really explore a topic. Keep an open mind about the nature of the contribution. So this is a networking conference, but that still leaves room for a pretty wide variety of different types of contributions, including systems design and building artifacts that are useful to the community, algorithm development, measurement, and experience. So the experience track is something that gets a tick mark that's kind of treated in a certain way, but all of these are different areas that we encouraged the committee to consider as totally valid contributions for SIGCOMM. And finally, we worked hard to preserve anonymity throughout the process, including reassigning some PC members to different papers if they became aware of the authorship of the papers.
Great.
It's after this.
Okay. All right. So this is the best part of the presentation. So after the program was decided, there was a committee that conferred to award the best paper and best student paper awards, and we're going to present them now. And so the best student paper award goes to Venkat Arun, Muhammad Alizadeh, and Hari Balakrishnan. So Venkat is the student author, and I believe Venkat and Hari are here. So would you guys please come? Oh, well done. Please come up and accept your plaques.
That's right.
Hari is, where's Hari? Oh, great. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Come out here so we can look at it. Thanks, Liz. All right, and oh boy, the best paper award goes to, Brian, why don't you pronounce this? It goes to a paper titled Software-Defined Network Assimilation, Bridging the Last Mile Towards Centralized Network Configuration Management with NASIM. And the authors are Huangshun Chen, Yukai Miao, Li Chen, Haifeng Sun, Hong Shu, Libin Liu, Gong Zhang, and Wei Wang. And I believe that Hong Shu is here. Is that right? Yes, okay, congratulations. Thank you. Okay, go ahead. I think you're next.
Okay, and just to wrap this up, we also have a huge number of people to thank that helped Bruce and I along with this long process, most particularly the program committee for putting in countless hours of reviewing time, the authors of submitted and accepted papers, the general chairs, Fernando and Ariel, publication chairs, Fernando and Christian, the artifact evaluation committee chairs, Dan Yang and Hai Ying, the executive and technical steering committees, and also last year's chairs, Aditya and Nandita, who provided both of us with a lot of advice along the way. So I think that's it.
Yes, and I'd just like to also thank Brighton. This is a lot of work, and Brighton was always cheerful and always, willing to get things done on short notice. So thank you, Brighton.
Likewise, Bruce. It was a pleasure throughout.
Then I would like to invite Sher to the stage.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sheer. I'm here on behalf of the CARES Committee. CARES is an acronym for the Committee to Aid Reporting on Discrimination and Harassment Policy Violations. As a scientific community, I think we all want to foster an inclusive and creative atmosphere where anyone can voice their thoughts and ideas. In light of this, ACM has issued a policy which categorizes as unacceptable any behavior which makes it difficult for somebody else to attend the conference. This includes abusive actions such as threats or bullying, any display of racism, homophobia, or other discrimination, and of course, sexual harassment of any kind. If you have been subject or have witnessed any such event, you are welcome to report it to ACM via an online form. Reporting and deciding to report is not an easy process, and we're here to help by either providing a listening ear or advice on the process. We can also assist SIG members in filing a formal complaint against regarding the behavior to ACM COPE. COPE is the Committee on Professional Ethics. It is important to note that CARES cannot take any punitive action against anybody, but ACM COPE has the power to do so. In 2020, ACM has asked CARES to expand our scope to include the publishing process. This includes the review process, be that the interactions of the program committee and having respectful and unbiased reviews, as Brighton has discussed before, and also ethics of publication, such as plagiarism, falsification, etc. And there are a number of policies that ACM has issued on this as well. Finally, it has been said before, we are here in person, and that's great, and we're hoping to have a pleasant conference for everyone. For some of us, even senior students, this may even be the first in-person conference that they've been able to attend. This is not necessarily an easy experience, and we want to make it as welcoming and inclusive for everyone. Please keep in mind that we hope that you will keep questions and discussions, you'll maintain them in a respectful manner, and try not to intimidate others as much as we can so that everyone can have a great conference. Finally, there are 6 of us in the committee. You're welcome to reach out to any of us. Jen, Justine, and myself are going to be here this week. Ethan, Sujata, and Mourinho are also happy to help and can be reached via email. And thank you. Thank you to the organizers, and have a great conference.
Thank you. Then I would like to invite our diamond sponsor, Amazon, to the stage.
Hey folks, I'm Eric Parker, a principal network engineer for Amazon's global robotics group. We're proud to be diamond sponsors of SIGCOMM'22. We know this is a very difficult event to put on, so thanks to the organization and the staff that put all this together for us. Joining me this year are a couple of other principal engineers and managers from our AWS database teams and our core networking teams. We have a booth across the hall if you want to stop by and chat. We also have a happy hour mixer at 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. today. Going back to one of the earlier slides, that's the free booze they were talking about. We've got that for you. And outside of that, I really just want to thank everybody for showing up. It is so nice to see people's faces again and get back to in-person events. And that's it. Thanks.
Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here. I'm Ellen Zagura, and I believe I have the honor of presenting the next set of awards. I'm playing the role of Aditya Akella, so for whatever imagination that requires on your part, you have a few minutes to figure it out. Okay, so the first award I'm delighted to present to Praveen Kumar, whose PhD is from Cornell, and it's for his dissertation toward predictable networks. Is Praveen here? Do we know if he's here? Anybody want to play Praveen and get an award? It's very nice looking. You might have to scratch out the name. Okay, I guess Praveen is not here, so we'll send that to him. Thank you. The second award is the SIGCOMM Networking Systems Award, and this award goes to a lot of people, and notably we have Hui Zhang here to accept the award on behalf of a cast of many. Hui? Thank you.
Can you take a nice picture?
Yeah, absolutely. That's you? Or you want me to? Okay. The SIGCOMM Test of Time Award, you may know, looks backwards to see what papers have had a lasting impact, sort of held up over time in terms of their contributions. If I remember correctly, it's a 10-year, looks back 10 years with a window of a 3-year period. And so this paper was published in IMC, the Internet Measurement Conference, in 2010, so 12 years ago. And it's Network Traffic Characteristics of Data Centers in the Wild, and comes with a citation for insightful characterization of the traffic patterns and network topologies in modern data centers and the curation of public data sets that enabled academic research on data center networks. And the award goes to the trio of Theo Benson, Aditya Akella, who, by the way, was not on the selection committee for the award, and David Maltz. And the committee, you can see the names of the committee members and our appreciation to them for serving on this awards committee. And I believe that Theo is here to accept the award.
for so long.
No less than 12. Oh, one picture? Come on. All right. There's a second test of time paper that was chosen in this round, and this one certainly the last few years of pandemic and lots of video have borne out the importance of this study, understanding the impact of video quality on user engagement. And the citation is for pioneering large-scale measurements and in-depth study of how video quality affects user engagement, which shed light on metrics to infer video quality of experience and has had a long-lasting impact on the optimization of adaptive streaming. And this award goes to a cast of not hundreds, but 10 or so. And I believe that Vyas is here, Hui is here also. Are you gonna pick up 2 awards here? Or, no. Yeah, you can both come up. Oh, and then you can have one of these. Great. Hui? Yes, great to see you. You guys want a picture?
Absolutely, especially.
The Lifetime, SIGCOMM Lifetime Award Committee decided this year to award 2 SIGCOMM Lifetime Awards. I think this is a sign of the aging of a portion of the community that when the community was really starting to bloom, right? So actually taking the data that Brighton showed about the number of submissions over time, we know that in the 1990s, early 1990s, the submissions were something like 50, or maybe that was into the 80s. But as the 90s took off, the number of submissions took off. So it's natural that we would have more people contending for the SIGCOMM Lifetime Achievement Award and an opportunity to recognize more than one person this year. So, one of the awardees is Deborah Estrin. And the citation here is for visionary contributions from protocols to applications in participatory sensing and mobile health. And Deborah could not make it in person, so we will have a recording. It's not going to be live, is it? Oh, we will have a live presentation tomorrow at 3:30. I actually am thinking that there's probably a decent number of people in the room who don't know Deborah, certainly haven't met her in person and may not know her name, but she was extremely influential in the 90s in particular in a number of different protocols, including RSVP, a reservation-based protocol. So Deborah will speak tomorrow. The other Lifetime Achievement Award winner is Henning Schultzring, and Henning is here with us today for impactful and sustained contributions to the design of protocols, applications, and algorithms for internet multimedia. And by way of introduction of Henning, I thought I would try this is a little bit of a quiz. So everybody can begin with your hand in the air. In fact, you should. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you a fact about Henning, and if you did not know it, you have to put your hand down, okay? So fact number 1, Henning was instrumental in the development of voice over IP protocols. Oh, Henning, you have some work to do here. Fact number 2, Henning was the Chief Technology Officer of the United States Federal Communications Commission for 3 years. Okay. Fact number 3, Henning created an online review system called EDAS, which I don't know what it stands for, so you don't have to know what it stands for. What? Oh my gosh. Hot crap is a better name. It stands for editor's assistants. So if you did not know that Henning created EDUS, which I would say is the grandparent of hot CRP, put your hand down. Ooh, now we're getting to the old timers. Okay, the last fact about Henning is that he graduated with his PhD in a very meaningful year, which is also the year that I finished my PhD, and George Varghese. And I was going to ask Hui when he finished, but I think it's not the same year. Okay, 1993 was the best year for PhD graduates since next year. All right, so, okay, I think I thought I could get down to just a fact that I knew, but apparently not. All right, so these are all a set of incredibly diverse ways to have contributed to the community and via the FCC really broadly, to society. I don't know why Henning created EDUS, but I'm assuming it was some combination of frustration and a desire to write code. His advisor asked him to, and students, whenever your advisor asks you, his advisor was Jim Carosa. That's an additional fact, but I think everybody who knew the other facts knew that already. Jim's pretty persuasive, so I guess that is an explanation. All right, so I'm not going to say anything more, and I'm going to let Henning come up. I do want to do one small thing, which is to plug the community meeting, the SIGCOMM. Sometimes it's called the business meeting / community meeting. It's this afternoon at 2:15. We have a couple of things that I think are important for the community to discuss, so I'd strongly encourage you to come to the community meeting. And with no further ado, please welcome Henning. A picture? You want to do a picture? Hui, can you take a picture?
Yeah.